Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is the case of Collins versus Stone.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Ms. Collins, you have dragged the defendant to court to prove he is the biological father of your 4-year-old daughter, Samara. You say one day of bliss became a lifetime of hell when Mr. Stone up and disappeared when you revealed to him you were pregnant. Is this correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Stone, you claim the plaintiff waited 2.5 years to tell you that you are Samara's dad, and you are just one of many men who could be the father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Collins, you say you're convinced that Mr. Stone is Samara's father?
Yes, Your Honor.
Explain.
Me and Mr. Stone met on a dating site. I seen his profile. I thought he was kind of handsome. And obviously he thought I was cute as well because he messaged me back. So we had a few conversations, text messaging here, calling there, until one day we decided that we will meet up. So on the day that we met up, we were drinking, we were talking. So he said, well, why don't you just stay the night? You know, you've been drinking anyway, why don't you just, crash here? So later on that night, one thing led to another and we had sex.
So after meeting him on the dating website, you all finally meet each other in person and have sex that night?
Yes, sir.
Did you use protection?
At first we did, Your Honor, then afterwards it just went with the flow.
Mr. Stone, is this true?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. That's how we make babies. So when you met Miss Collins, did you feel like this was gonna turn into a relationship?
We did what we had to do, but I was single, she was single. She wasn't the only person I was with. I wasn't the only person she was with.
Was this the only night you all were intimate?
There were other
I think there was
nights.
another night.
There was another night, but this was the night where we had unprotected sex, yes.
So you having casual sex on and off.
Yes, Your Honor.
At some point you find out you're pregnant.
Yes.
Who do you tell?
I went to a doctor. This was at, I think, the beginning of June. And the doctor told me I was about a month long. So I'm like, okay. So after that, I give Mr. Stone a call. I let him know. I said, hey, I'm pregnant, and there's a possibility that you might be the father.
She never said that it was a possibility.
Yes, I did.
She
yes,
did?
I
She
did.
was pregnant.
I told him I was pregnant, and it might be a possibility that the baby would be his. And he
Mr.
asked...
Stone, what do you remember?
I mean, like I said, we only did it a couple times or whatnot. She gave me a call. I pick up the phone, it's her, we're talking. She's like, yeah, so I just want to let you know, I am pregnant. I said, okay, and she said, well, I'll just let you know, I'm pregnant. I kind of asked her to come hang out. I kind of hinted I wanted her to, come hang out, but she said she was pregnant and basically she couldn't hang out. So she never said, oh, this is your child. She never said that.
So you just felt like she was informing you she was pregnant.
Yeah, like she
and
can't...
that's why she doesn't want to come hang out with you that night.
Right, as far as drinking and stuff.
You didn't feel like she was saying, and you are the father.
No, she didn't say, oh, by the way, you're the father. She never said anything like that.
I called him. I said, hey, I'm pregnant. He said, well, is it mine? And I said, there's a possibility that it might be yours. He didn't deny it. He didn't say, no, that ain't my baby. He didn't do none of that. So after that, he just said, well, you know what? Just keep in touch. And I said, okay, and you keep in touch as well. Make a long story short, he moves to Arizona. And I said, okay, well, keep in touch with me. His phone was cut off. I guess he deactivated his Facebook.
I've had the same Facebook for like 7 years, since it came out.
He deactivated it because there was no way that I could get in touch with him.
So you couldn't get in touch with him?
No, ma'am.
So you're pregnant and you're trying to get in touch with him and you can't find him anywhere?
No, ma'am.
When she first told me that she was pregnant and she can't come kick it, I understand that, So I thought maybe it was the guy that she was messing with. We didn't really go into detail about who are you with, what are you doing. All we did was have a good time and we kicked it.
Mr. Stone, it's your testimony that you said when she called to say she was pregnant, she did not say you could be the father, and you went on about your married life because you thought she would have said to me, and you're the father.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
At what point then does it become clear that to you that you're a possibility?
It was like 2.5 years later. She hasn't been crazy, like throw a brick through my window crazy, but it's like, you can't call me and be like, hey, baby dad. What? What? That's the first thing you say is, hey, baby dad? Like, that's kind of like, it's kind of awkward, you know what I mean? So.
You did not know anything about this baby for 2.5 years?
Correct.
It wasn't that long, Your
Yes,
Honor.
Your Honor.
So tell me exactly what happened when you found out you were a possibility. How did you find out?
Oh, man. So she gave me the call. I was in Arizona. She's like, well, the person I thought that was the father of the baby is not. So I'm like, okay. And then she said, the other person that might have been a possibility to be the father also is not.
Other person?
Yes. You remember you had your
So
your
she
baby dad,
referred
his
to
boyfriend, and
2 additional people besides you.
besides me.
No, I didn't, Your Honor.
So now that that's been proven, so at first you thought it was your baby dad's. At second, you thought it was the guy that you were messing with. Third, you got me. So process of elimination kind of just shows I'm the last option at this point. Because if you were serious about this and this was, the truth, then why didn't you do this 2.5 years ago? Why are we waiting so long?
So, Ms. Collins, did you just basically lead your ex to believe that he was the child's father because this was your ex?
No, ma'am. This is what happened. Prior to me meeting Mr. Stone, I had just broken up with the guy.
Right.
Which is my ex. When I found out that I was pregnant, I called both of them, and I let them both know. I told him about my ex, but I didn't tell him about no third guy. I didn't tell him anything.
You told me you had a baby dad. You had a baby dad, but you had another dude
now,
that you were cool with.
As far as, I didn't tell him that, Your Honor. Like I said, it was him, and then it was my ex. Found out that my ex wasn't, so he is the next person. It wasn't multiple people. It wasn't. It was just the 2. And that's when I was able to get in touch with him and let him know that, hey, I had the baby, she's here, where are you? I've been trying to get in touch with you.
You mean where? I was in the same place that I moved to. I had the same phone number, I had the same contact information, everything was the same.
So hold on, I want to understand this. So, Mr. Stone, it's your feeling that all of this time, she really didn't think you were the father because everybody else knew how to reach you, and you don't feel like she was really trying to find you.
It's not hard to find me.
All right, so now, Ms. Collins, who has been raising baby Samara all this time?
I have.
By yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you say another man was her father? Did you tell her another man was her father?
When I had Samara, she looked like my ex. They favored. They really did. So after so long, speculations came up. We got a test done. Come to find out she wasn't his. I said, yeah, I think I probably made a misjudged character on the situation. 2015, I found out that he was back living in the state. I said,
but you skipped out the whole part that when I was in Arizona, I told you that if that's mine, if the child is mine, come down here, we can take care of it. Matter of fact, I got family, I got people, I got everything that we need down there.
Your Honor, I just had a baby and I was pregnant with another one and didn't have the funds to sit here and go all the way to Tucson, Arizona. What I look like? He simply sat here and left after knowing that. Why not stick around the whole 9 months and wait to see if this child is yours instead of moving on to a whole nother state?
So, Mr. Stone, I do want to ask you, now that she's testified, and I hope that she's conveyed to you that she tested this other person and he was not Samara's biological father, why do you still have doubt?
Number one, there was multiple men. As a matter of fact, I do have some evidence. Is it okay if
I'd like to see that evidence. What is it?
Actually,
an exhibit?
I do.
Please step over to the exhibit, sir.
So I get a phone call from the court where she lives at. We show up, can't do the test for whatever reason. Don't know why. They say that they'll be in touch. So they get back in touch. We go back, well, I go back a second time. I drove all the way up there. Guess who didn't show? Miss Collins did not show for this test.
And then what's the last point of proof you're holding?
She suggested that we do a at-home DNA test.
Okay.
So I was like, I don't really trust that. I don't know if, I don't know. That's not a doctor, but she said, I'll pay for it. I said, okay. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. Never got it. So, here we are 4.5 years later after the situation has happened, and now we're in your courtroom instead of just getting this taken care of in the first place.
So you're saying there's been 3 solid attempts to get this done.
At least.
And 2 of the 3, she has backed out.
That's correct.
Which now furthers your doubt.
Yes.
All right, you may step back over to the podium. Miss Collins, were you avoiding the second test?
I didn't know nothing about it. I lived in a whole other house from where I was at. I was at a whole other address. So I didn't know about it till after the fact when they sent me the one for the third one, which happened in December of 15. That's where the one that both of us showed up at. They scheduled us for another one, but I couldn't get off of work.
What about this home test? Why does
Now,
it
the
say?
home test, too many times have I done attempted to come down there to take this test. He's not home. He's not answering his phone, not responding to my messages or my calls.
Is there anyone listed on her birth certificate as the father?
No, Your Honor.
So how can you be so sure it is Mr. Stone's child?
My child doesn't look anything like me. She don't act like me. She has the same type of arrogance that he is showing right now in this courtroom.
What
and it's
arrogance am I
sickens me.
showing? I'm just
It's
showing
sickens me.
facts.
You came out with a whole board, really?
But, I
That's
mean-
childish. You older than me, at your age.
That
As I
way.
was saying, Your Honor, I grew up without my father. There's a lot of things that as a girl that you need to learn from your father, and there's a lot of stuff that you need to learn that you need to earn from your mother. Am I
And you
right or
feel
wrong?
like at 4, Simara had
Yes.
missed all of
I
it.
don't want her to go through what I went through, missing that relationship that I had with my father. You see what I'm saying? So yes, I'm going to sit here and pursue him. I sure am. I gave his information to who I was supposed to. And like I said, he doesn't answer his phone. That's it. It's always some type of excuse. I'm trying to get this test just as much as he's trying to get it done to make sure she's his daughter or not.
I have to ask you again, is he the only other possible father?
Yes, Your Honor, because a few years back, my daughter, she got sick. Come to find out she's hypoglycemic. Now, that does not run on my side of the family. So what I do, I'll give Mr. Stone a phone call, and he says, yes, I do believe that do run in my family.
Your Honor, anybody could have hypoglycemia. I'm not the only person on this earth. I'm sure there's a whole lot of us. I'm the only person in my family that I'm even aware has that particular condition. So it doesn't run in my family. Maybe the other guy runs in his family. I don't know.
He said it might run on his dad's or his
I
mother's
said
side.
I
I
have
don't
it.
remember.
I said I have it.
And
Michael
then he
Jackson
said
might
he
have had
had it.
hypoglycemia. What does
Okay,
that
but
mean?
at
Does
the
that
same
mean
time,
that maybe
it
he's
doesn't
the
run in
father
my
of the
family.
baby?
It's not in my bloodline. So who else am I going to go to? If
my
you had
goodness.
it, that gave me a
Same
reasonable
toenails. What
belief to
does
believe
say
that he's the
that's-
father.
I mean,
So,
the same
so
fucking-
what you're saying is Simara has hypoglycemia.
Yes, and I don't.
And so you decided to ask Mr. Stone, did he have it? And
Yes,
he
Your Honor.
said yes.
Yes.
Jerome, can you please escort Dr. Samantha Brown Parks into the courtroom? I want to ask her a couple questions about this.
Hello, doctor.
Hello, doctor.
Hi.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We are here discussing the paternity of baby Simara. I need to know from you, one, what is hypoglycemia? I want that explained. And secondly, is it a genetic issue that's passed from mother to child or father to child?
Okay. So first off, hypoglycemia is simply low blood sugar. It can happen for a variety of reasons. And there's a level at which we just have chosen that below 50 milligrams per deciliter when they take your blood, that's hypoglycemia. Most common cause is from people who are diabetic or hyperglycemic, take medication, it drops their blood sugar too low.
So hypoglycemia is different from hyper.
It is indeed. And you'll hear a lot of people talking about family members who have hypoglycemia that's actually from treating their hyperglycemia. Now, there are genetic cases of transmitting hypoglycemia from the mother or the father. There's a genetic mutation that can cause the pancreas not to produce insulin correctly or to overproduce insulin. If one of the parents had such a mutation, there's a 50-50 chance they could pass it on to the child.
So there is a genetic connection. If he does have it, there's a 50-50 chance that he could pass this to a child he potentially fathered.
Correct.
Mr. Stone, after you've heard the doctor's testimony, does this change your position?
I still feel the same way. No, no, Your Honor, not at all, not one bit.
So, Ms. Collins, do you still stand by your assertion that Mr. Stone is Simara's biological father?
Yes, Your Honor.
You do. Well, let's see if that is in fact true. Jerome, I'm ready for the results. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Collins versus Stone, when it comes to 4-year-old Simara Shantae, It has been determined by this court. Mr. Stone, you are the father. You are her father.
How you feel now?
Yeah, it kind of threw me for a loop. I didn't expect that one.
You truly believed you were not her biological father.
Yes, Your Honor, I truly believe that. But on the bright side, I'm not upset. I'm a little surprised.
She's 4 now, and she has not had the benefit of being held and loved by her father. Miss Collins, would it be okay if Mr. Stone saw Samara in my chambers so that they can get this father-daughter relationship on track? Would that be okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
I will meet both of you in my chambers. Court is adjourned. There she is.
Hey, babe.
Hey, Samara.
Hey, Samara.
Seymour, look. Look.
Hey, Samara.
You see Daddy?
How you liking Atlanta? You sleepy, huh?
You ain't gonna
Woke
talk to your
up
dad?
super early, didn't I?
Hey, beautiful girl. You see your daddy?
That's all right. We're gonna get plenty of time to talk when we get back home.
That's right. Mr. Stone, you just give her an opportunity. But I'm very happy for you both, and I'm so happy for her, okay?